Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll be creating this key model. Along the way, we'll tackle some interesting topology challenges and explore how to solve them effectively. So let's get started. I've included the reference image in the description below. Be sure to download it and add it to Blender before getting started. I will lower the opacity of the reference image so it's not so distracting. Add a cylinder with 32 vertices, then scale it down so it fits the reference image. Enter edit mode, then press E to extrude and S to scale, shaping the mesh to match the reference image. Then add a cube. Add a subdivision modifier with 3 levels of subdivision and apply it. Go into edit mode, then press Alt-Shift-S and move your mouse to transform the geometry into a perfect sphere. Then delete these faces. Then scale the sphere and place it at the end of the key. Select these faces and delete them. Then do the same to this face. Select these loops, right-click, and in the Loop Tools menu, choose the Bridge option. Now we will start creating this part. I will hide the main mesh so it's easier to see what I'm doing. Add a plane and scale it so it fits the reference. Go into edit mode and add an edge here. Then extrude. Add another edge and extrude all the way to the end. And do that again. Now we need to create this cutout. Go into X-ray mode by pressing Alt-Z and press K to enable the knife tool. Then simply trace around the cutout, making sure both sides have the same amount of vertices. Then delete the faces. Now we have a lot of n-gons. Let's fix them. Join these vertices by pressing J. Add 3 loops on both sides. Connect them to corresponding vertices. Add a loop at the top and connect it to the vertex. Then add these vertices to the edges and join them by pressing J. Then select these edges and press F. Then select the n-gon and press I and then O to create a protective loop around the cutout. Then relax the surrounding geometry a little and delete the n-gon. And then add edge loops around the mesh to create evenly sized quads. Then unhide the cylinder. Locate the middle edge, then count 3 edges upward and place the plane on the same height as the 3rd edge. From there, count 3 edges downward and extrude to the bottom line. Then delete the back faces. Move the piece a bit forward, then add 2 edge loops like this. Select these faces and delete them. If these objects are separate, select them and join them into a single object by pressing J. Then add 5 edges here because there are 5 vertices over there. And add 5 edges here for the same reason. Then select these edge loops, right-click, and in the Loop Tools menu, run the Bridge operation. Play around with the Bridge Properties panel if it doesn't work properly. Then select these faces, duplicate them by pressing Shift-D, and scale them on the Y or the X axis by -1. This will mirror the detail. Note that this operation will also flip the mesh normals. To view the flipped normals, open the Viewport Overlays menu and enable the Face Orientation option. Faces with flipped normals will appear red. To fix them, select the red faces and press Shift-N to recalculate the normals. And then do the same steps as we did previously to connect the mesh. Then add a subdivision modifier to see how the mesh looks. Some of the curves are a little too smooth, so I'll add 2 edge loops in the middle to sharpen them. Now this detail is finished. Modeling takes time. Luckily, there are tools that make the process much easier, like today's sponsor, Meshy AI. Meshy AI is an all-in-one inclusive 3D model generator. Simply drag and drop an image, then click the Generate button. And in a minute, you have a ready 3D model. Bet you didn't even notice the TV model at the beginning was generated with Meshy AI. And it's not just image to 3D either. You can generate models from text prompts, create PBR textures, and animate them. Meshy AI supports a wide range of export formats, making it easy to import models into Blender, Unity, or Unreal Engine. The recently released Meshy 6 model produces surprisingly clean geometry from a topology perspective. Although there are imperfections, it handles several difficult regions far better than I expected. If you want to speed up your workflow and prototype ideas faster, check out Meshy AI by scanning the QR code or using the link in the description for a 50% discount. Now back to the tutorial. Remove the subdivision modifier and delete the n-gon. Add an icosphere with 28 vertices. Then select these faces and delete them. Do the same to these faces. Then scale it down and using the proportional editing tool, deform it so it fits the reference image. Then add a circle with 28 vertices. Inset the circle and delete the middle n-gon. Enable the magnet tool and set it to face project mode. Adjust your viewport so it's viewing the model from a similar angle as I am currently, then press G to move the circle. The circle will automatically conform to the surface of the sphere. Then select these faces and delete the vertices. Then join the circle and the sphere into a single object by pressing J. Then select the outer loop, and in the Loop Tools menu, choose the Bridge option. Then double-tap G around some vertices and relax the geometry. Then add 2 edge loops here. Delete half the geometry and apply a mirror modifier. Join both of the geometries together by pressing J. Then select this loop and delete the vertices. Select these edges and in the Loop Tools menu, bridge them. Then slide this edge back a little. Then extrude the circle. Extrude again and add an edge in the middle. Scale the edge in the middle on the x-axis and then bevel it to make it rounder. Extrude again. Then extrude the vertices in the middle. Select these vertices and join them by pressing J. Then add 5 vertices on every single edge. Then add a cylinder with 32 vertices and delete n-gons on both sides. Then select both objects and join them into a single object by pressing J. Then select these edges and with the Loop Tools menu, bridge them together. Then select these edges and in the Loop Tools menu, relax the geometry. Then add a cube and apply 3 levels of subdivision. Then convert the cube into a sphere by pressing Alt-Shift-S. Select these faces and delete them. Then scale it so it fits the reference image. Then extrude and adjust the mesh until this point. Then extrude twice more. We want to make sure we have edges wherever the cylinders connect. Select these faces and delete them. Currently, this edge has 22 vertices and the circle has 32. In order to be able to connect them smoothly, we need the edges to have the same amount of vertices. To do that, we will add 5 edge loops here. Now we can select these loops and bridge them together. Now extrude the other circle until it reaches the connection point. Then select these faces, duplicate them, and place it here. Then extrude and match it to the reference image. Then extrude twice more, making sure you have edges where the cylinders meet. Delete these faces. Then add 4 loops here to match the vertex count with the circle. Then move the edges so the cylinder is more round. Select these loops and bridge them together. Then extrude the cylinders by following the reference. Then select these faces, duplicate them, and place them here. Bridge these loops. Follow the reference image. Then add a cylinder with 32 vertices and scale on the y-axis. Then delete these faces. Add 5 loops to match the cylinder's vertex count. Then move them and make them rounder. Then bridge the loops. Add a cylinder with 28 vertices. Then add 2 loops like this. Delete these faces and add 1 more loop. Space the edges more evenly. Then bridge the loops. Then duplicate the faces, match them to the reference and bridge. Add a cylinder with 32 vertices and match the reference. Then add 2 edge loops and move them to make the cylinder curvier. Delete these faces and bridge the loops. Then using the extra mesh objects add-on, add a rounded cube with the arc setting set to 7. Select these faces and delete them. Scale it down and match the reference. Do the same with the cylinder. Then bridge the loops. Then delete these faces and mirror the detail. Bridge these loops and add a subdivision modifier. And there you have it. We finished the key model. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.